WTMP HD, Egypt Lake, Tampa, and now on 102.1 in Pinellas County.
All righty. Tampa Bay. It's that time again. Boy, the week go by so fast. I actually had somebody call me last week, and we was talking about a show that we did over at the mall, Tampa Bay Community Network.
TV show.
We were doing a TV show
back
in the day, and they was doing something, and they ran across the show, and they listened to the whole show. I said, that's a 5-6-year-old show, but evidently, they still out there, and I didn't know that, but, people find them, once you put stuff out there in the atmosphere, you don't know how long it's out there, and you don't know who's listening to it. So, I kind of found out, that there's a lot of people who go back, and I told Tim this, Tim's been with us for the whole 13 years that we've been doing this.
All that money.
In-house engineer, that some of this stuff has been out there for a while, and people who find it, they say, oh man, this is good. Let me go back and listen to some more. And I'm telling you guys, if you ever want to hear some of these old shows, and we got 13 years of shows out there somewhere. If you want to go back and listen to them. But it's been this. I tell folks all the time, y'all have changed. The listening audience for this show has changed, and we could have probably from anywhere from 20 or 30,000 people to 100,000 people listen to any show, because they don't just listen to it that week. Because we do the show, then it goes out there. But people go back. 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, 3 years, and listen to some of our old shows.
Looking for gotchas.
Because they'll call and ask me about something, and I say, well, I remember that show, and most of these shows I do, I may be an old man, but I do remember, I do remember some of this stuff, and some of it's good. And what we're gonna do today, we're gonna talk about something, and we've been talking about this most of the shows this year, because it's important to the community. And I want you folks to know, when I say important to the community, this is butt-tearing, stuff that we're talking about, because it's reacting to someone else's bringing evil to our community.
What?
And evil is one of those kind of things, people, nature, if their nature is to destroy and disrupt and confuse and cause a negative reaction, then as a community, we have to stand up. I guess I should get the show started. let me get the show started. Then we can get into what I'm talking about. This is Porch Talk Radio on WTMP. If you want to call in, it's a call-in show, so you can call in and pretty much say anything that the FCC lets you say, because we don't block you and we don't cut you off, unless you just get out of hand. And after you get out of hand, you know what we have to do then.
We done.
Yeah. So the call-in number, if you want to call in the show today, is 888-247-8712, 888-247-8712. If you want to call me, Eddie Adams Jr. at home, which I got a lot of calls last week. That's why I'm talking about it on the show today. My cell phone number is 813-12. And if you want to contact me by email, Eddie, EDDIE, at PorchTalkRadio.com. So, as I was saying, and I'm glad people within this community have connected with me, because if some of our leaders under fire, and if I kind of miss it, even though it was on TV every day last week, but if I hadn't been aware, I'm glad that you picked up the phone and called me and say, Eddie, have you heard about this? And sometimes I say yes, sometimes I say no, depends on whether I heard it or not. But I got a bunch of calls last Wednesday because they were having city council meeting on Thursday. And at that point it was a rumor. Eddie, they're getting ready to vote Orlando Ghouls out of office. And I said to myself, they can't do that. I say they couldn't get rid of that supervisor of election down there in West Palm Beach, and she was doing fraudulent crap down there. They wanted to get rid of her, they couldn't because she's an elected official.
She got promoted, didn't she?
We had a couple elected officials here in Hillsborough County, supervisor of election office here. And we had some school board members that was doing some crazy stuff. And let me again educate the community. This is how it works. As an elected official, you got the same right as the mayor, school board, county commissioners, all the elected officials in the state of Florida have the same rules for removal. You can step down, you can resign, you can do that, but that's you. If you think you're being falsely accused or accusations are being made, they can have a recall election so that the same people that hired you can fire you. That's the community. That's the city. That's everybody come together, go and vote someone out. Or it could be bad enough that the governor, Ron DeSantis, make some kind of proclamation, make a decision and say, well, that's absolutely wrong. You're going to be forced out of your position by me, the governor. So the governor can take you out of office, or they can have a recall election. That's it. Your equals, who are the other city council members, can't decide he's a bad guy. We're gonna kick him off the city council. And I'm talking about Orlando Ghouls. I went to city council meeting with the understanding that they had this purpose in mind. Now, when I got to city council, I had to inform them. And then if you look at it, it's on tape. A city council meeting last Thursday. First thing I said, I don't know how you got your information or where this information comes from, but as in the community, I heard this rumor that you folks were trying to get rid of Orlando Ghouls. And let me tell you, you can't do it. So whoever started that vicious rumor, and I know, for some reason or they had Orlando on TV like every day or every other day, last week. But I'm gonna tell you something else that happened. While I was at city council meeting, every person that spoke during community comment was there to support Orlando. And we had about 20 and 30 black folks who showed up. Not one, and this is the part I want everybody to hear, not one person that went up there to talk and support Orlando said anything negative against City Councilman Orlando Ghouls. Now, I said before, they had people who got out of their bed 9 o'clock in the morning, went downtown and fought traffic and did all this stuff to go up there and throw piss on Orlando. And that was crazy to me. Stay home. Don't go out of your way to help them crucify somebody they already crucified. Especially if it's one of our black leaders. As a community, you don't have to like Orlando, but don't go out of your way to help white folks destroy him. And that's what's happening. They got a campaign going on. Somebody made somebody mad, and what they did was say, okay, well, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And in politics, it's called opposition research. So what they did was somebody's getting paid to find every negative thing they can about Orlando Goose, and they do this usually at the national level. News is not that important, at the local level. But let me tell you something, community. Mm-hmm. The city of Tampa has paid over $300,000 trying to get rid of one city councilman.
Because they got money to burn, Eddie.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what they got. This is coming from their record. That's why I go to city council meetings. Like I told them when I was there Thursday. That's why I come here. I know what rumors are, but the reason I'm here because I know what the rumors say. I want to hear you guys say what is going on, what's happening. So I gave them an opportunity, and Charlie Miranda said we don't have a meeting and we ain't trying to get rid of anybody. We don't team up and all the stuff I had figured out. Mm-hmm. But I needed them to say it and say it on record. So it's in the minutes that this is not what's happening. But we know it's what's happening. I'm going to tell you what they're doing. Mm-hmm. I keep saying that. This whole story started 18 months to 2 years ago. That's when all this stuff happened. And what they did, since Orlando didn't do what the mayor wanted him to do,
he didn't fall in line.
And a couple of other city councilmen, they if you remember, they had a city council meeting that was supposed to be to vote in the new chief of police. And it got postponed to 2 weeks or a month later before they actually did the vote, because at that point in time, this is politics. It's blood politics. They didn't have 4 votes. She would not have made it. She would have got voted down, which would have been a challenge to the mayor, since that was her candidate. She had to do everything she can to fight and make it so. So what happened was they took the extra couple of weeks.
Did a beat down?
To browbeat city councilmen who they felt was not going to vote the way they needed them to vote. And since I know some city councilmen took that too hard, and some city councilmen got in lockstep with the mayor. I mean that's what the time was for, and I don't know what they have on them or whatever.
But something like the power, Eddie.
But let me see. Let's go here. And I know the new chairman, Joe Citro, listened to this show because he came to tell me about the thing I said about electric cars. When I said, electric cars ain't saving no fossil fuel.
No.
They got generators, that's burning gas and burning diesel fuel and all that
child labor
stuff.
For the lithium batteries.
Yeah. But he reminded me, and he said that he has solar panels on his roof. So his electric vehicle is not being powered by any form of fossil fuel. And what came to mind immediately is what's happening in California. Because you got all those lefties out there in California, and they dealing with rolling blackouts and this and that and all the things they got to do to deal with it. Even though some of them may have solar panels on their roof, so they're not pulling off the grid. Mm-hmm. See, what they forget about is what we're producing is almost nuclear waste. It's kind of like nuclear waste, because when they get through with those electric cars, those batteries and other components and stuff, they kind of put them in a hole somewhere, like they used to do, nuclear spent rods, because, they ain't got no way to get rid of them. And they got a half-life of 50 years, 100 years and stuff like that.
Unless they get a bump, they blow up.
So you're doing other things, that's less counterproductive. And it's going to be a really, really, really long time before you can take this country off of fossil fuel. And they have told so many lies about that. Because if you recall, Miami should have been underwater at least 20, 30 years ago. The whole state of Florida should have been underwater. So what they have done for such a long time is good marketing. They tell you all these lies to scare you. And it ain't working, because see what happened when you tell a lie like that? Well, in 10 years, so and so can happen. in 20 years so and so gonna happen, and they use that as now, be scared. But when 10 years actually happen, or 20 years actually happen, and Miami ain't no further underwater today than it was 20, 30 years ago. In the 80s, they were saying, oh, yeah, the ocean's going to flood, and we're going to lose cities, and we're going to lose this, and we're going to lose that. They got a little sleep. Now, let me tell you how I know they were lying. Because Barack Obama.
Eddie.
If you go to my website,
don't do it.
Facebook, you go to my Facebook site.
Here we go.
I got a picture this week that I took that shows you that literally you can walk from Barack Obama's backyard into the ocean, into the Atlantic Ocean. He's that close to the Atlantic Ocean. So he would have known or had some idea, somebody would have told him, don't buy that house, because you're going to be underwater in a couple of years, but his house is nice and shiny and new and right there you can walk to, literally you can walk out his back door and take couple hundred steps, and you're at the ocean.
Eddie, the bigger liars to that, when Nancy Pelosi's bought a big mansion down here, also in Florida. That happened the last couple of years, as well as Al Gore, who started this. The sky is falling with the climate change. He's got a 15,000, 20,000 square foot house out in the water somewhere.
Yep.
So these people are just lying to people about this climate change. And Eddie, weather has constantly changed, right?
It's climate change for a reason. It used to be global warming, then it was global cooling. They marketing and they're marketing to the ignorant.
Ooh, Eddie, you've been tough, Eddie.
Because these folks believe all of this Boulder Dash that keep coming.
Boulder Dash. Nice word.
So let's get back to the city council. The city councilman. See, so since we got people in this community with radio shows who don't fight vendetta against people with this platform, because it is better to use it to help keep our black public officials strong by putting it out there, the truth, so that they'll know that if something happened, they got community members who are going to stand with them. And like I say, it was a couple of white folks that stood up and defended Orlando also.
Oh my goodness.
And when I finished making my point, a couple city council people commented to my comments, but at the end of public comment, and I know somebody told me he ain't got to worry about it, but Bill Carson is a great city council person, because he said, all this stuff they got going on, $100,000 in legal fees that did not defend Orlando. I read the report. I read where the city paid $100,000 supposedly to defend Orlando. Nothing in that lawyer's $100,000, but $99,000, defended Orlando. It was like they paid him to destroy him. And we got a legal document now that says, we can destroy you. But that's crap. And then they went without talking to Orlando or any of his people, and paid this girl $200,000. So that's $300,000 the city has paid
to tear him down,
to destroy this person. And I'm telling you right now, we as a community ain't gonna let you do it, because we see what you're doing. We know what you're doing.
Eddie, come on now. You know the reality. The black people are loyal voters of the Democrats.
Yes,
even
they are.
if the Democrats, with
Don't
the
give a
white
crap.
mayor tears down the black guy,
Don't
doing
give a crap.
$300,000 of taxpayer money.
Yep.
Just go at it. You know what? I bet she'll get in power again if she wants it.
Well, they got election in a year, a little less than a year, and we're gonna see. But see, I was told this morning, because I have a meeting with a group of educated, upstanding young black folks,
Well-spoken.
males,
Well-spoken.
well-spoken, black men, who say ain't nobody running against her.
Yeah.
But let me say something else about what's going on. By the time they get through with this Department of Justice, because they came here in December of last year to investigate some things that's going on here in the city, and the city councilman pretty much said, some things that may or may inquire of the Department of Justice and take a look at some of the stuff that's happening here in Tampa. So I don't know, is it actually going to happen? Because this actually came up and was presented by one of the city council members. Well, he threw it out there, and then Joe Citro, the chairman, say, well, what do you want to do with this? Do we want to take this and you file a complaint with the Department of Justice and this and this and this? And what they used to do, I'm thinking, when you used to go to city council meeting, Bill and Orlando used to sit side by side. Okay. I went in there, the first thing I noticed, kind of like two kids that talk, they split them up. Orlando's on one side of the dais and Bill Carson's on the other side of the dais, so I guess they wanted to make sure that they didn't get a chance to pass notes or talk to each other,
scheming.
Doing a city council meeting. But it don't matter because the stuff they're doing, see, for 7 days in a row, the city leaked information to the media. So to create a hostile media with negative stories being additive, and for those who don't understand politics, what additive means, they leak a little bit today, they leak a little bit tomorrow, and they leak a little bit 2 weeks from now and 3 weeks from now.
So it's planned out.
So that at the end of the day, everybody thinks, oh, this is such a horrible guy. He keeps doing all this bad stuff, because they know it's an additive effect. It ain't just he just did this one thing. He just keep doing these one thing. Now, all this stuff happened 2 years ago. He ain't done nothing new and different, within the last couple of years. Where he lived is the same. What he did was the same. All this other stuff. See, that's what black folks call piling on. Back in the day, piling on. That means like somebody jump on you and you're on the ground, and somebody jump on that person, somebody jump on that person.
I call that a dog pile.
Yeah, and then the people on the bottom feeling all the pressure, and people just keep jumping on, and they don't realize how much pressure they're putting on the person on the bottom. But that's the additive effect of this political disruption that they think is going on. And I told them right there, I said, I can't speak for Councilman Orlando Goose, but he's much stronger than you think. And this bull crap that y'all doing now, he's not going to step down. So you're going to have to go to full tote. And that money that you gave that girl, that taxpayer's $200,000.
Was it a white girl or a black girl?
The community know what color she is.
Okay.
See, actually somebody
I'm thinking of kryptonite.
Actually told me, sometimes Gabriel jump out there and he don't have all the facts and figures and stuff, but the community know what color she is. So I'm just saying. So at the end of the day, the whole process is made to benefit the mayor. And Bill Carson said something that knocked me to my knees. I couldn't show it in the city council chamber, but he said that Bob Buckhorn was probably sitting at home in his underwear, tweeting all this stuff out there to the media. So that was my first time. Now, I didn't know that Bob was still involved in the process in it. And Bob may call me and say, Eddie, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I mean, he may, because he have called.
Let's see that Twitter account.
Yeah, he has called before to make a correction when somebody says something and he wasn't involved. So, I'm just saying, folks, we got folks here who are pretty much set to destroy our only black city councilman. And if you let that happen,
they'll be back.
This community will never be the same again. Because there's a reason we got one. They couldn't stand 2 or 3.
Can't allow it.
And at the end of the day, he's on somebody's list. Let me say it like that. Y'all know what list I'm talking about. Because most black folks at some time or another been on that list. SHI.
I thought you were going to say blacklist.
No. This list is worse than that. It's the snit list. the SNIT list, and when you get on some people's SNIT list, you know they ain't satisfied until you can't walk, you can't run, you can't breathe. You know, you're silent, laying on the ground. They intend to kill you, literally. You know,
just politics.
Yeah, that's why I said it's a blood.
Nasty.
That's why I said it's a blood sport. You know, and he's not gonna get a break.
No.
No one.
None at all.
No one involved in Tampa City government is gonna give Orlando a break. So I would advise the brother. They probably got people following him, like you see on TV. They got people following him, keeping a report on everything he do, because if he ever slip on a banana peel, they're gonna be right there to make sure that banana peel was illegal. Somebody else could have got hurt, and Orlando was not an innocent victim. He deserved to slip and fall on that banana peel.
Come on now,
and
Eddie.
break his neck.
Come on.
I'm just saying.
All
I'm just saying. You know, and you can watch this stuff. See, the problem that I have with it is they're doing this stuff in the open. They ain't trying to hide it no more. Everybody know what's going on. Because see, if nothing else, I'm gonna say, look, just watch. If you watched the news last week, I wasn't looking for it. I saw Orlando's houses. You know, he got one house he'd been in since he was a child. He was born and raised in that house on Hillsborough, and everybody know. But see the thing about it is, now I've seen a lot of white folks have these kind of problems, you know, with residency and the ones that got residency restrictions, you know, and then they come up, you know. Now, if you staying in the house every day, every night, you're sleeping there, and then somebody say, well, he don't live in the city, but it's right there on Hillsborough and Hillsborough and 40th Street. I mean, Goose Funeral Home but it'll be different if you stayed in a house that wasn't right next door to your building with your family name on it. Goose Funeral Home is right there. His family business.
There's got to be something illegal going on, Eddie. You know that. They're looking for it right now.
But what I'm saying is the house that he put on his application to run has that number on it, had that address on it. And he's been there, like I said, since they were children. Since him and his sisters and brother, his family owned the house. You know, they've been there. He probably ain't got no mortgage on it because it's been there so long. But what I'm saying is, had he not been a bad boy, none of this stuff would come up. But it keeps coming out. See, like I say, they want it to be additive. They want the white folks in South Tampa and those in Carrollwood and those other communities to believe this is just a bad, but it's just an angry, bad black guy. You know.
You know, Eddie, it feeds a constant message of the media that some of these black people just can't be trusted, and the ones that are deciding who to trust, which black people to trust, is the white liberals. They're the ones that are calling the shots and have the money to throw out, or taxpayer money out to go get after a black guy or a black person in general. It doesn't really matter, I guess. But it just keeps feeding that and keeps feeding that until finally it's going to break somewhere, Eddie.
Well, let me say it like this.
It's terrible.
When you spend, and when you don't care about spending
in the open,
$300,000
taxpayer money
for the downfall, you know, you created this mess. You know, at the end of the day, somebody gonna have some smuck on their face. And I said smuck. Somebody gonna have some smuck on their face because that's $300,000 that could have been in trying to fix the mold and mildew at Silver Oaks, or some of the other housing issues that people in the community got. You know, and that money is pretty much just flushed down the toilet.
So the corrupt stays corrupt.
But it won't if they bring the Department of Justice in and have them expand their investigation. See, that's the thing that may happen now, because, you know, you got people making noises and fusses, and you got a couple of $100 million projects, you know, that the mayor got family, friends. I heard nepotism.
Sound like politics,
but
brother.
None of the politicians, the other administrative officials saying anything about all these related family members who get in these great contracts that's going on. I'm just throwing it out there because the reason I go is to hear and see. I know most of you guys ain't going because you got jobs and you work for white folks, and at the end of the day,
Andy, you had to go there. Oh,
well,
my
they
goodness.
do. I mean, that's the problem. A lot of black folks can't say and do some of the things that I do, because they got to go to work, they got to feed their family, and Mr. George and Mr. Sam and Mr. Bill, may decide that your quality of work ain't as good as it used to be, and we got some people that can do the same job you're doing for less money. I'm just saying something.
And they're coming across that border every day.
Yeah, I'm just saying some of the things that are out there. And I know y'all can't fight this battle the way I can. That's why I'm here. This is a platform. And the fact of the matter, we want to be righteous. Mm-hmm. We want to help people in this community do good and move the whole community forward. That's why I don't, take this and use my time here to carry on personal vendettas with other people, because I know at the end of the day, all you got to do is look, watch. I point stuff out to you. I want you to see it. I want you to see how some people have literally stuck up for people who we all know are pretty much evil. Ain't did a damn thing for this community. And if you look at stuff, like the tax, the school board. Now, if I recall, and I want some of y'all to think back a year or two, when the school board lost $150 million. Think about that.
Just a few zeros.
That's what was reported, and what happened to it, we don't know. We've not been able to account for $150 million, but we need some more money.
Mm-hmm. To make up for that money that we lost somewhere.
So not only do we want the money, we want your property taxes to go up, because that's the only way we can figure out to take more money from you. So all the property owners in the hood should be upset. Not only should you not vote for this, you should be upset.
Did they investigate that?
No. It's on the ballot. It's on the ballot. And then the county commissioners, whose budget is $7 billion. And if I'm wrong, somebody call and tell me I'm wrong. You got $7 billion in this economy? But, and I actually heard somebody on TV. Yeah, we taking calls. So somebody just texted me. I saw we taking calls. Yes, we taking calls. The call-in number is 888-247-8712. But I just wanted to bring it up and remind people that $7 billion is a lot of money. And they want, and somehow this whole transit thing supposed to be benefiting black folks. But it ain't free, because black folks paying for it. And the only way it pass, if y'all vote for it. And I said this last week, you can't keep hurting yourself. You can't go out of your way to help make rich people richer. You can't keep doing it. We got a caller. Caller, welcome to Porch Talk Radio on this fine Saturday afternoon. Who are you? Where you calling from? And what say you? Hello?
Hey, this is Robin Lockett. I'm from Tampa.
Hey, Robin.
And I say the following.
Yes, ma'am.
With Orlando, all we want is we want fairness to be done, right? We want due process to be provided, right?
Yes.
We want all the information to be released. That's it.
Yes.
And if it just so happens, and if it turns out once all this stuff is done and it's found that Orlando is you know, liable for something, then Orlando needs to serve whatever, right?
Yeah.
But if it exonerates him and find out that it's not true, then we need to rely on that. So we want all the information. See, so many times people come into our community and they feed us what they want us to have.
Yes. It's called marketing.
Bad marketing,
Yes.
because the trail that they're leaving is terrible, because they write notes on everything. And you're able to see the notes. They say, hey, we're not going to do anything about this, and we're going to do something about that, and we're hiding this, and then they act like it's not there.
Right. And Robin, so I don't forget it, you got something going on next Thursday at City Hall, right? You want to talk about it?
So, Florida Rising and the community has been fighting around rent stabilization. In the midst of dealing with rent stabilization, we've also been attempting to, how do we keep our tenants safe, right, in their places?
Right.
So Thursday, there's a workshop going on, and we are running a campaign, blank or get off the pot.
Uh-oh.
Mayor and city council declare housing state of emergency and let the people vote. Because what happens is they keep speaking about this preemption, but it's not up for them to decide. People can vote on it and make that decision, and that's the loophole in regards to whether the state will preempt it. And if the state does try to preempt it, let the state be seen to preempt it instead of the city council and the mayor holding it back because of development.
Well, kind of when you were like the development pawn and the development queen, you know that's part of your bailiwick. You know that's something you're already using and beating people across the head. And I like it when a couple of weeks ago, you know, the mayor jumped out there with a news conference, you know, about Silver Oaks, and Silver Oaks ain't the only bad residential development apartment complex, you know, in the city, you know, but now they're getting a lot of press, they're getting a lot of news, and at the end of the day, has the people who live their lives changed?
No,
go ahead.
It
Yeah.
hasn't.
Yes.
It's photo op,
Right.
right? No, it hasn't.
They fussing and fighting to see who's gonna be first in front of the camera. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Correct. There's nothing. Listen, this is a big fight because no one has really. He's not even challenging landlords, right? He's not even doing that. Landlords have been allowed to do a lot of things and be slumlords.
Yeah.
And take people money and say, hey, if you don't like it, move. Or, hey, I'm not fixing nothing, right?
Right.
And it's their dilapidated, a terrible place that people are living. And sometimes with our journey, what we found is, you know, and it doesn't have to be a low income situation. I've met people in Timber Falls that work every day, 2 jobs to pay rent, and their place is rat infestation, bats in the house, just everything. So there has to be something done other than people coming out and getting photo ops in these apartment complexes at the expense of the tenant, and then they leave. So there has to be a real conversation in regards to what can be done.
And Robin, if I wouldn't know any better, I would say that they are benefiting off of the misery of folks who are living in squalor. I mean, that in itself is incredible.
Listen, we've been fighting. We've been saying rent has been high for a while. The only reason it's a bigger thing now because other people are experiencing the same thing. It has no color. It's touching everybody.
It's touching white folks. Say it, Sal. See, we can say that on this show. We can say that on this show. Yeah, because you got white folks complaining. See, as long as black folks complaining, ain't nothing gonna get done.
Mm-hmm.
But now you got white folks complaining. You know, they're gonna make an effort to do something because what they don't want to do is upset all these white folks.
Mm-hmm.
They don't mind upsetting you.
Correct. And this is the environment for people to really look at how can we make a change? How can we really make a meaningful change towards these laws. What can we do? Instead of hiding behind, well, we can't do that. It's never been done. We can't try that. But we have a whole damn Democratic legislature here. From every Democrats run everything.
Yes, they do.
And you mean to tell me that we're not gonna be innovative to do something different? I think that other part. If I bet if the other party was in charge, just like they're showing us up in Tallahassee, they would be doing it. So I'm challenging these Democrats.
Robin, every constitutional office in Hillsborough County is held by a Democrat. So the whole community, you know, when you vote 80 and 90%, you know, for one party, this community is not getting any respect. And I challenge all the constitutional officers to say and defend yourself, because, you know, you ain't doing doodly crap. I'm just saying, you know, and the community getting tired. Yes.
The biggest thing also, so yes, a large portion of our community is, we are 90% of us vote down the line.
Yep.
But there's a bigger thing also. How do we hold those individuals accountable? By doing what? Showing up to city council.
That's right.
Showing up to county commissioner. Being involved, understanding how whatever policy is created, how that really affects you, right? Paying attention and holding them accountable.
And stop voting for the ones who don't affect your community positively. Because there's a lot of people that you can vote for, and they got a couple of decent Democrats out there. But the ones you keep electing are the sorry ones. Those are the ones who don't give a crap about
the oppressors.
And I'm talking to the whole community. I'm not just talking to you, Robin. You know how I am. You know.
Oh yeah.
So thank you for the call, honey.
Appreciate you. God
You're
bless.
welcome. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Hey, strong. That's good, Eddie.
Yeah.
That's strong,
Yeah.
Eddie. That's good.
Okay, we got another caller. Caller, welcome to Porch Talk Radio on this fine Saturday afternoon.
Mike in Tampa.
Yes, go ahead, Mike.
I met you once before. Remember the night you had the flat tire out in the parking lot?
Yes.
It's that Mike.
Okay, Mike.
Hey, listen. You do have a point in thinking back to the Kevin White. It's kind of a similar thing.
Yeah.
And I think the case settled for like $75,000 or something like that after it went to court. So why would they pay out that kind of money? That's all I just wanted to inject.
See, that was the county, and see, this is the city, and the city got something to hide, you know, because again, you know, this thing could go through a civil trial, and all the evidence will come out, and at that point, you know, traditionally, that's when they make the settlement. How they gonna make a settlement? They haven't even had a hearing. They haven't even taken deposition. I mean, I'm not a lawyer.
They're trying to make it go away, Eddie.
But I know some simple things that could have been done before they had to pay this person. And something a lot of you guys may not know, Orlando made the effort to transport this person to recreations, to work for another office within the city, you know, where she wouldn't have been under his command, and that could have solved the whole problem. But the mayor hired this lady to work in the office, and now the mayor decided to have her pay $200,000 to enrich her with $200,000 of taxpayers' money, making a total at this point of over $300,000 paid with the purpose of destroying Orlando Goose. So I don't think that's right, and I'm telling you that, you know, because at some point in time, you know, somebody's gonna have to pay the toll. You know, and if it's you, you know, I know you could have came up with something better to do with this money than to try to carry on a personal vendetta. You know, and if you guys know us here at Porch Talk Radio, we don't care. I mean, this platform serves the purpose of serving this community.
Boom.
So thank you for the call, sir. All right. We got another caller. Caller, welcome to Porch Talk Radio on this fine Saturday afternoon. Who are you? Where you calling from? And what say you? Hello?
Good afternoon, Eddie and Gabe. This is Fran Tate, Jackson Heights Neighborhood Association.
Hi, Miss Tate.
Watch President. How are you all doing?
Yeah, we're doing great.
Great. I am just calling in to notify the community that we have lost a great soldier in the community. Former State Representative Debbie Reed received her wings, and she's gone on to glory. And I just want the community to know that maybe some of us don't know, but the Jackson Heights Neighborhood Association supported her campaign wholeheartedly. We served when she was running in the senatorial race, and we just admired and adored her. She was full of humor. She ran a clean campaign. Even her opponents respected her with high admiration. I am talking about Senator Darrell Roussan. He was very cordial to us as we crossed the bridge and went over to campaign for her in his territory in that senatorial race. So I'm just asking the community to please pray for the Reed family at this time. And I also want to say, Eddie, when I am speaking for community members, when I'm speaking for community persons that we voted in the office, I am speaking from my president of the Jackson Heights Neighborhood Association hat. You see, I have been blessed to wear two hats in this community. I am the chair of the CAC board of the East Tampa CRA, but I never abused that hat. So whenever I'm speaking on behalf of any of our elected officials or anybody in the community, I want the community to please know I'm wearing the hat of the Jackson Heights Neighborhood Association and Crime Watch president.
Thank you. Thank you. And you're doing a great job, I must say. And I want you to continue. And we're going to win this battle because we're going to fight together. We're going to show them that as a community, we can come together and protect our own. Because they think we're defenseless, but we're not defenseless. And all we got to do is come together one of these elections and show them that we got choices and that they're not the only choice on the ballot.
Absolutely.
And that's how you fight politics politically.
Absolutely. And I concur with what Robin said. We just want due process. We want due process. And that's pretty much it. We're not going to be battling. We're not going to divide our communities because we all need to stay together.
Yes.
As a community. So however this ends, we are just simply asking for due process.
Yes, ma'am. And thank you so very much for your call.
Thank you so much. You're
God bless.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. On this day,
Let's hit it.
I can't leave this out. On this day, May 21st, 1881, the American branch of the Red Cross was founded by Clara Barton. On this day, May 21st, 1927, Charles A. Lindbergh completed the first solo nonstop airplane flight across the Atlantic Ocean. The trip began May 20th, so it was a one-day flight, 24 hours, kind of thing. So it started on May 20th and ended on the
A lot of peanuts.
21st. On this day, May 21st, 1956, the U.S. exploded the first airborne hydrogen bomb in the Pacific Ocean over Bikini Atoll. On this date, that would start, that would start the big bombs. On this day, May 21st, 1982, the British landed in the Falkland Islands. I don't know how many of y'all remember.
Oh, yeah.
The Falkland Island down on the end of South America and began fighting. So that was the Falkland War.
Well, guys, as everybody follows the media around, we know that Bronny got in trouble. Bronny, his name, James, LeBron's son, got in trouble because he was doing the swirl. His white girlfriend, absolutely pretty darn beautiful. He took her out to prom night, and the racist got angry. The racist said, "How dare that black man get that white woman?" And these are just the black people. Now, the fact that Bronny was driving a $350,000 Mercedes is probably at issue here.
Yeah.
But he's old enough to do what he wants.
Well, his dad is a billionaire. So.
Yeah, daddy got money, so here we go. Also, by the way, the monkeypox vaccine, we've already bought 13 million of them, already have been bought. They're waiting. What a coincidence. It's happened to have the monkeypox vaccine ready to go. And we already stroked a check within what? 3 days, 4 days? That's a miracle, folks. You can't see any politicians being corrupt here. Now, the Texas Supreme Court is allowing the state of Texas to resume investigating parents of transgender youth for child abuse. Because there's no way a 4-year-old says he wants to be transgender. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Don't fall for it.
You're not even in kindergarten at 4, are you?
I don't know where you are.
Start at 5.
He's just out of diapers, so, life's a little bit different there.
He ain't been out the house.
No. To learn something, that damn internet. All right, so if confusion is upon you, then obviously you're a liberal. And if you ask, if I'm not a boy or I'm not a girl, where do I pee? We'd say outside. It's going outside if you confuse that much. In 1873, the American government killed 1.5 million buffalo in that 1 year alone. 1.5 million buffalo, the government of the United States killed that many to starve the Native Americans so they would become more dependent on American government to survive. Gee, Eddie, they still ain't doing that, are they?
Yeah, they
With the blacks and the Hispanics?
Yeah, they still doing it.
Yeah.
And with Indian, I'm telling you, Indians are still on the reservation. Today.
We're giving $40 billion to the Ukraine. Now, if you guys understand the math that they're playing, that $40 billion was originally for us to reload our own weapons and ammunition, but we don't have it anymore because we gave it to them. Okay. All right, we'll keep moving on here. Meanwhile, which mayor under her reign is famous for 21,000 homicides since she became mayor? Can you guess it? That's right. Lightfoot, out of Chicago. She's doing her best to keep the black population down because she knows 92% of all homicides happening is black on black. So they don't even need Planned Parenthood.
Yep.
They just need a liberal Democrat run it and to take care of that population of black people right away. Meanwhile, Russia's looking forward to picking up $40 billion in new equipment after the U.S. abandons Ukraine. Some of you get that. Of course, Mattel is now has unveiled the latest Ken doll. That's right, he's pregnant. And then AOC was asked, what's your opinion on Roe versus Wade? AOC responded, well, that's the only two ways Mexicans can cross the river.
Roe and Wade.
Hey! Moving along here.
I got it.
Only 15% of the American food is imported. If the U.S. has food shortages, it's 100% government problem. Come on, guys, let's think that one through. Now, as one of those rare moments where we can actually transform our politics in a fundamental way, but it's going to take people as resolute as Mrs. Sanger. That's right. She's the one that called black people weeds that need to be exterminated. Oh, that was Barack Obama repeating that. Plus, also, we do not want the word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population. That was Margaret Sanger also, the founder of Planned Parenthood. Where can you find Planned Parenthood? Go to any black neighborhood. There you go. Thank you, folks.
All right. Thank you, Gabriel. And this is something I want folks to understand. I kind of get tired of black folks showing up on TV. The inflation ain't Joe Biden's fault.
Oh.
High gas ain't Joe Biden's fault. All these other problems. I post on my Facebook page all the stuff that they keep saying.
They still let you post?
Ain't none of this stuff Joe. Yeah, ain't none of this stuff Joe Biden fault. But let me tell you something. The pipeline from Canada to the U.S. had it still been open, we wouldn't have to get on our knees and crawl to Russia and crawl to the Middle East,
Venezuela,
all these places that we know hate us, hate our freedom, and ask them. Because if we had our own pipeline, all we got to do is pump more oil. I mean, that's a lot easier. Have more American oil producers make more money and solve our problem ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're dependent on people who hate us,
Mm-hmm.
hate our freedom, hate our guts.
Mm-hmm.
We are dependent on them to help our economy. That's why the economy is sinking. That's why it's sucking so bad, because we're making political statements. Well, we don't need fossil fuel. Yes, you damn do. You need fossil fuels. If you had your own fossil fuel, you wouldn't be dependent upon buying somebody else's, and they would not control our economy. And that's why the economy keeps rising, keeps going up. We got the worst economy in 60 years. That's not me talking. Look in any newspaper on any afternoon, listen to the news, and everything keeps going up. They even baby formula. We've never had baby formula crises before. Guess what, Joe Biden? Baby formula crisis.
Eddie, but it only started because men started getting pregnant.
Well,
Oh!
bum. Okay, so anyway, people, don't believe the marketing tools that keep telling you it ain't Joe Biden fault. Because if you remember, I remember when Trump first got elected, everything was his fault until all the good stuff started happening. Till the economy started improving, inflation started going down, the price of gas was $1.65.
More minorities working.
You know, more blacks was in important position. Blacks may not want to say that, but I'm a Republican, so I can say it. And for all intents and purposes, the best country we have had in a long time happened under Trump, and it ain't because he did some bad tweets that the majority of white folks start coming out saying we hate Trump, we hate Trump, we hate
He was
Trump.
exposing corruption, Eddie.
Stuff start changing for the better for this country. He said America first. I mean, that's the reason a lot of folks don't like him. That's the reason a lot of Democrats don't like him, and that's why some of them would never forgive him, because now, we told y'all not to elect Biden, but you did it anyway. So anyway, have a happy rest of your day.
Merry Christmas.
Tampa Bay, we love you.
God bless America.
Bye-bye. See you later.